Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer Weekend Times. I'm your host Stan, and today I've got a 2v2 field battle for y'all. I'm going to be playing as the Warriors of Khorne, and my ally is going to be Wizard playing as the Cultists of Slaanesh, and our opponents are going to be Captain Bloodflag playing as the Vampire Counts, and his ally Dodged It, who is going to be playing as the Tomb Kings. So we've got two Chaos factions versus two Undead factions. Very Halloween appropriate episode for you guys today, so I hope you all enjoy. But let's go ahead and go over the army comps really fast and then start the battle. But Dodge has got 3 units of Skeleton Spearmen up front. He's also got 3 units of Mummies and then 4 units of Tomb Guard. He's got 2 units of Ushabti in the back and then a unit of Bone Giants. He's got 3 units of Necropolis Knights, and then over here he's got 2 units of Scarabs, 1 on each flank, and then 2 units of Skeleton Horse Archers. Excuse me, guys. Over here for my army, I have about 3 units of Bestigors up front charging into Dodge's army. I've also got about 3 units of Marauder Axe Throwers. Actually, guys, I got 4 units of Marauder Axe Throwers, 2 units of Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and 2 units of Chaos Warriors. I've got a couple units, or 1 unit of Chaos Giants, 1 unit of Bloodthirster of Khorne. Over here for my Cav Force, I've got a unit of Chosen Knights of Khorne, 3 units of Senegors, and then a unit of Chaos Knights. Over here for Wizard's army, he has a little bit more of a varied infantry force than I do, but he's got some Slaanesh Chosen, a couple units of Chaos Warriors and Chaos Warriors with Halberds, about 3 units of Marauder Axe Throwers. Up front, he's got, I believe, 4 units of Marauders and then 2 units of Marauder Desolators. Over here, he's got a unit of Chaos Knights, some Mounted Demonettes, a unit of Chaos Trolls, and then some Chosen Knights of Slaanesh, and he's also got some dismounted Demonettes of Slaanesh over here. And that is going to be his army. Let's go ahead and go over Captain Bloodflag's army, and then we will go ahead and go full speed. But he's got 2 units of Vampire Black Knights, 2 units of Knights of the Black Grail, and then a unit of Blood Dragon Knights. Over here, he's got a couple units of Skeleton Spears, some Drakenhof Guard. He's also got some Grave Guard, and then some Grave Guard Halberdiers. Over here, I think he's got some Blood Dragon Knights over here, yeah, and some Von Karsteins, and then I think he's got a unit, here we go, of Krell's personal bodyguard right over here. So that is his army, guys. Let's go ahead and go over here and go full speed, because I think my Bestigor line is, okay, it's not nearly as close as I thought it was. But I'm going to be charging up my Bestigors into Dodge's line, and then pretty much charging up the rest of my infantry. And this is kind of something that you don't want to do. I didn't really wrap them around. I kind of just charged everything up at once. And you kind of really want to spread your infantry out as far on the flanks as you can. And then one other thing is, I noticed as I was charging up, I was kind of columned up, and you just, you know, it takes a little bit of micro, but you usually can get them to kind of spread out and be more of a long, cohesive line, or any infantry really in that case. But I'm going to be charging my Bestigors straight into these Skeleton Spearmen, and they are going to take the charge. Not that great. The Bestigors have a really huge charge bonus, and behind them, my Chaos Giants are going to wade through and get into the line of the Skeleton Spearmen and start kicking them around, and my Bloodthirster of Khorne is going to push his way through as well. Dodge 8 is going to move up his Mummies, but they are going to very quickly become prey for my Bestigors and my Bloodthirster of Khorne. Over here, I'm going to charge up my Chosen Knights of Khorne as well, but they are going to get kind of roadblocked by these Scarabs. These were hiding, or they were moving, so I really couldn't see them very well. And then I'm going to charge my Chosen Knights of Khorne into this corridor. This would be a good opportunity for Dodge to actually kind of collapse in on my forces, but I'm not going to give him a lot of time. He is going to be kind of preoccupied with his cav over here, so I'm going to take my Chosen Knights of Khorne and kind of charge them into the sides of his Tomb Guard, which is actually going to do a lot of damage. They're going to charge all the way down to the end of his line, and some of these units, actually, one of these units was just totally decimated, all the way down to 14 in that unit. Some of these, this other one's down to 40. It's done quite a bit of damage to these 2 units of Tomb Guard. Back over here, my Cav is not doing quite so well. My Senegors and my Chaos Knights are kind of getting mobbed by his Necropolis Knights. He's got more of them over here than I really have quality Cav, so he's going to definitely win this Cav engagement over on my left flank. And I am going to be kind of moving up my giant units as they're kind of cutting in a little bit of a no man's land in this infantry line. But over here, Wizard is beginning to close in on his line, and Captain Bloodflag is moving his cavalry up onto the flanks to hopefully get some really nice charges in on these Marauders, and that looks like what exactly he is going to be doing right now. These Vampire Black Knights charging down on this poor Marauder unit. Oh, this can't be good. You know it can't be good. Then it is really good when you see him charge in like that. This whole unit of Marauders is just going to get trampled. Unit of, like, I think 94. Yeah, 94 when they're healthy. Decimated down to 12 in a single charge from those Vampire Black Knights, and I think they managed to kill a few. The rest of these Vampire Black Knights are going to be charging into the back of this line, and they're going to kind of get picked off by some of these Slaneshi Chosen and these Mounted Demonettes. The Marauder Desolators have engaged against the Skeleton Spears. Really kind of an even match a little bit. I do think the Skeleton Spears are probably going to have the upper hand just because they do not rout, and I think they're actually a little more numerous in a unit than these Marauders are. The Cavalry is charging in, although at an awkward angle. And then Wizard is going to be moving up his Chaos Warriors kind of as his backline over here. But it does look like these Knights of the Black Grail are going to be getting a really favorable charge into the flanks of these Chaos Knights and straight into these Demonettes of Slaanesh, doing a little bit of damage to these units. I don't quite know how many come in a unit. I don't think he killed that many charging in. They are multiple HP, so they can typically take a charge fairly effectively, but he's going to be charging around his Mounted Demonettes, hopefully harassing some of these Vampire Black Knights. It does look like this unit has been diminished a little bit, and it looks like that the Cav engagement is really, really real over on this left flank. We see the Knights of the Black Grail, the Vampire Black Knights, yeah, where are they? No, I'm sorry, guys, not the Vampire Black Knights, the Blood Dragon Knights. I thought I saw the Vampire Black Knights still over here, but I did not. They are both over there. But he's going to be charging his Blood Dragon Knights away from that melee engagement, which I probably would too. You don't want to send them in to melee for too long. It does look like Wizard's forces are kind of getting bubbled up here, which present them to be actually a really nice target for Cav charges, which, speak of the devil, here they come in, doing a lot of damage to these Marauder Axe Throwers in that single charge, cutting that unit down to nearly half. And then it does look like Wizard is going to be responding with another Cav charge of his own. His Chosen Knights of Slaanesh coming in, doing a bit of damage to these Knights of the Black Grail. But back over here in my line, things are not looking so hot for me. The Necropolis Knights were able to really kind of move through that kind of Senegor Chaos Knight engagement pretty much unscathed. And I don't believe I really had much of an answer to them. It does look like these Bone Giants are going to be just wailing on my Bloodthirster of Khorne. I'm trying desperately to get him out of there because he is just around too many high-powered units. He's going to be losing a lot of HP. And look at this Bone Giant just wailing on him. Every time he swings, he does a bit of damage to that Bloodthirster of Khorne. Which actually, that's really interesting, because this is actually 1.0, and he is doing his swing animation. That's strange. But anyway, my Bloodthirster is in this thick of this melee engagement. He is going to be swinging his huge axe in here, and it does look like Dodge It is moving up his Skeleton Horse Archers for another. I don't know if he's going to charge in with these or not. I don't think he is. I don't think I have anything to charge into at this point. I've got a couple Chaos Warriors with halberds, but that's it. I mean, and then my Bloodthirster, which again I'm trying desperately to get out of this engagement. At this point, I just wanted to get him to the other side of the field and do a little bit of damage to the vampire counts, because I just was not really able to move around and do too much damage to anything. But in come these Necropolis Knights. They are going to charge in, and so is this other unit, and that is just going to end it for my Bloodthirster of Khorne. He is going to go down, and that is going to be it for my units. But way back over here, we do have some more of the more of a melee engagement going on. The Marauder Axe Throwers are going to be involved in melee. The Von Karsteins, looks like one of them is going to go down there, but they are multiple HP. Very good light infantry, and a really good charge coming up from the Mounted Demonettes, but it does look like Captain Bloodflag is going to be charging in behind them. It looks like he might get a really good charge, and just kidding, he's not going to get a really good charge. He's going to almost get a charge and then stop, and then Wizard is going to charge out his mounted demonettes back at these vampire or Knights of the Black Grail, and it looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of damage to them. The high HP of these mounted demonettes really allows them to sit engaged in melee for a while, but they do not have shields, so they are going to be vulnerable to ranged fire, but that is not an issue in this game. But the Skeleton Spears and Skeleton Warriors are going to be charging up into these Cultists of Slaanesh, or I'm sorry guys, into these mounted demonettes. I totally just read the wrong tooltip. And it does look like a few of them are going to get picked off in that charge. And then over here, we see Dodge's army really kind of coming into the fold. He does have a lot of his Necropolis Knights in his mobility, and it looks like he's going to be charging in right here into the flanks of the Chaos Warriors with halberds. And he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage to them as his units come in. They are going to waver and maybe even break. They are very tired, and here they go. They're going to break, and he's going to be able to just freely move through them. He's going to be charging in some more of his Necropolis Knights over here into the flanks of these Slaaneshi Chosen, and I think he's got his Bone Giants involved over here against the Chaos Warriors, who are shaken. They were wavering, but it does look like their morale is going to even out, which I don't know why it would when you have Bone Giants coming in. Although it does look like a few brave Chaos Warrior souls are coming up and are trying to do a bit of damage to these Bone Giants. See, now they're kicking it. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe they sometimes do a swing animation, but in 1.01, they're just supposed to do that kicking animation. Maybe it's very rare they do a swing animation. Because I saw that and I thought, well, that's weird, because that's supposed to be what's in 1.5. But I'm going to admit defeat at this point because I just had a few riding troops. But the Necropolis Knights are going to be coming up, doing a lot of damage to these Demonettes of Slaanesh. I don't think they're routing, are they? I can't really tell. I don't think I can get a beat on them. I think the Chaos Warriors with halberds were routing, but I don't think the Demon units route for the Chaos factions. And it does look like a few of these mounted Demonettes are still left alive. Just a few of them. Just a tiny handful of these guys, and I think that all that's really left right now at this point are some of these Chaos Trolls. There's about 4 of them left. These usually guys are a very good investment. They're not very numerous, but Trolls are very strong. They seem to have a very fast attack animation. Very, very durable, high armor, high attack. Can usually do a lot of work when they're supported. You usually don't want to have them unsupported, but they're not quite as susceptible to stun locking as some of these other units that you kind of see. But you know, they are a large unit, so you just do want to be careful about that. They can't be stun locked, but I think just a higher mass prevents them from doing so. But it does look like the Bone Giants are going to be charging up and slamming into these Chaos Trolls, and they are going to rout, but they are not going to get out of there in time, and that is going to be it. I guess everybody joins the army of the dead in the end, guys, or the armies of the dead, however you want to slice it. But that was the game, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the kills. My Bloodthirster Khorne only getting 81 kills, really underwhelming for a 10,000 gold unit. I've noticed they sometimes get stuck in melee combat like that, especially if they're the center of a lot of the attacks, so you kind of want to have them out on the fringes, or some of these big giant units like that. It looks like my Chaos Giants did a little less than my Bloodthirster, only at 78, and that's split between 2 giants. But if you go a little farther down, my Bestigors seem to have done really well, 144, 154, and 117. And then my Chaos Knights getting 104, and then my Chosen Knights of Khorne getting 220. So really good investment on my Chosen Knights of Khorne. Definitely saw them do a lot of damage to those Tomb Guard early on in the game. So, but that was the battle, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. More Warhammer content is definitely coming very soon to y'all. So, yeah, that is the replay. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next time.